Everybody knows it's there.
Okay. Now, everybody brought your business cards, right? Right?
Yep.
All right, save them for afterwards. No more plugs. What we're gonna do now is get to the main issue here. You know, I like the issue. What do we need to do to move Birmingham forward as far as the arts are concerned? Not what do we need to give you to move your project forward by yourself, but what do we need to do as a whole to move our whole city forward? So, you all that are here, I'm gonna have to ask you to take your seats because we only have a few moments, but we will pick this up. We'll pick it up, but we gotta come back up here so we can actually get a plan going. We have to have a plan. So what are we gonna do? What do we need to do? Look at, I'm about to cry. Go ahead.
My comments, I'm gonna get this in real quick. One thing that's lacking here in this city, and I think across the board as a performing artist and what have you, is the lack of traditional industry. There's no music industry here of any, on a national level. There's no real agents to pick people. That's why people leave, because they go to Atlanta, to New York to get discovered by somebody. It's not difficult to attract people to your market nationally, and I think there needs to be a think tank of sorts that helps to explain, explore those avenues and how that can be done in a very accessible and transparent way. And I've seen it done, and I understand the need for Birmingham to maintain its originality or what have you, but it can become very insular when we focus too much on the native experience, and that is a real. We need to celebrate what we have, but we also need to showcase it to other places so that they know the value. How that's going to get monetized is by creating actual industry, agents, managers,
right,
promoters, national, like it's been happening before. It's not like it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? It's not like Dr. Tucker was saying, not having to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to reinvent this. These models exist throughout the country. And I personally would like to get involved in showcasing the talent here on an international level, because people need to see what's going on here. And that's what I'm actively involved in, and hopefully, that'll work.
Okay, so for the plan, yes ma'am.
Have to do it together.
Have to come together to move Birmingham. Yes sir. Well, 1 second, yes sir.
My wife and I moved here 6 years ago from Atlanta. There is everything in the arts in Birmingham that you would want, and you can get to it in 15 minutes.
Thank you for telling us that.
We are talking around what I think is really the issue. And that issue is two elements: leadership and money. And when the governments in this area, and this is not just a city of Birmingham issue, it's an issue of this whole metropolitan area. When someone takes the leadership to bring the communities together to support the arts and finance them, then there is, and I'm not doing this just because I think I'm not an artist, believe me. What it does is draw jobs to the community, and that's what this community needs, is jobs for people to work who may or may not want the arts, but it will bring jobs and people to this community. So when our leadership decides that that's important, then a lot of these issues in the arts will be solved. I'm going to mention one specific in Atlanta. They took a derelict telephone factory and divided it up into studios and living space for artists. And it drew a whole artist community to the city when none existed before. That's something that could be done if our political leadership has the will to do it.
Okay. All right.
And to me, one of the most beneficial things would be if the city could provide that forum, sponsor that forum, whatever that means, whether that's financially or just providing the space and the time for those institutions to come together, share ideas, and then with the city come up with those shared goals, like Dr. Canyon was saying. How do we get that shared cultural footprint where all of our voices are heard? So it's not about the museum expansion, which I wish were happening, but it is about all of those organizations coming together. And we just quite frankly don't have the time, the staff, or the focus to pull that together on our own.
Okay.
But if a forum like this were provided by the city on an ongoing basis, that would not only send the message that the city strongly supports the arts, but would provide that forum for those great collaborative ideas to come about, that big picture.
Thank you so much. That's number one for our plan. The city provide and sponsor a forum to establish shared goals and make it continuous. That's how we plan. So who has number two?
I can stay up there.
Go ahead, sir. Okay. With that being said, the floor, well, the mic's on the floor, I close, I'm sorry, because we have a limited amount of time, but it never stops. So with that being said, now that we have all of these different notes, that's how everybody writes, we have pages of notes. We're gonna start on this end with the doctor. And we're gonna say what we will do when we leave here to actually put these things into action. What will we do? 30 seconds. Half a minute.
Please believe I would not call you here to waste your time. I have heard what you have to say and I will respond. I still got about 2 weeks left. We can put, unless the public says otherwise.
Yeah.
So we will have the Public Arts Division set up and we will make certain, Council Austin, when you go to DC, that you have that as one of your issues. You know what got me this way very quickly? I represent West End, and we had an apartment building there that was just run down and raggedy. So we took some just artists and went out to the apartment building. We put up boards, and we drew families and happy faces and smiling faces, and what the apartment would look like if people were there. It was an abandoned building. I couldn't paint. I had, my little stick people. But at the end of the day, about 2 weeks later, we saw the boards come down, and that man repaired the apartment building. That's what that art did. So I know that I am on the right track. I know that you will help me to focus the city of Birmingham in this direction in the time that I have on this term. I know that art is life for me. I have borrowed pieces in the mayor's office from the Museum of Art. They brought me pieces of art that they thought I'd like the beach scene and all kind of stuff. They just came and hung in, like little elves came and hung in my office. Because all the plaques and stuff to yourself, that's too self-serving. Give me something beautiful. And I have fresh cut flowers from the Botanical Gardens in my office. So I enjoy that part of life. So please believe that you will hear, we will make an announcement when Jonathan gets back from Washington. We will make an announcement about what this Public Arts Division will do and how it's going to work. And I want to thank you all. Lady Blue, I love you, girl. You can keep it to the point and on time. Thank you very much. And if we didn't hear from you, I'd love to hear from you in an email or come by the office or something. So thank you for coming, and you will hear from us soon. We'll continue the dialogue until we get it right. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the workplace.